What is up, guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart. Dallas, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yep, and at the end of week 6, Dallas and I went a perfect 14-0. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it perfect. A true perfect would be if we had gotten week 1 perfect, but the Bengals crapped the bed against the Patriots in week 1, which would be when all 32 teams are playing, because this is our first perfect with teams on bye weeks now. But first time we've ever had a perfect week in our picks though, but with the bye weeks though. Pretty crazy that we were able to do that.
Yeah.
Never imagined that would come. But now, time to bring on the week 7 picks for the 2024 NFL season. First off, we got Thursday night football. We got the Denver Broncos going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Broncos falling to the Los Angeles Chargers at home. It was a good effort, but we knew it wasn't going to be enough. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints got absolutely crapped on at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, got a 50 burger dropped on them in their own house. Both these teams are desperate. This is the return of Sean Payton to the New Orleans Superdome. Sean Payton's returned to New Orleans since the trade when they sent that first round pick to the Saints just to get Sean Payton to be the coach, and it still hasn't really turned out good for Denver. This game will be very interesting though, and the Saints obviously still starting Spencer Rattler, which there were times where Spencer Rattler was showing some flashes, like he didn't look that bad
No, we didn't.
in the game. For that alone, I'm going to take Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints to hand Denver another L at home in the Superdome. But Bo Nix is still looking good, but I still think that Saints defense is going to get after him, and they're just going to just take it to Denver. Give me the Saints.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints because they're more desperate for a win. They want to end this 4 game losing streak. They've really been free falling since that hot 2-0 start, and their season's pretty much on the line in this game.
Pretty much indeed. All right, up next we got the New England Patriots going to London to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the third London game of the international series for the London games. Granted, because they had week 1 played in Brazil. The Patriots coming off of losing to the Houston Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars losing in London last week, getting crapped on and destroyed by Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Be honest, Jacksonville Jaguars, they are looking like the dumpster fire so far this year, other than the Carolina Panthers. The Jacksonville Jaguars are obviously one of the worst teams in the league. Heck, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers both being the obvious worst teams in the leagues is crazy because they both came in the league in the same year.
Yeah,
Man, this is probably the last time I take this team, but I'm gonna take the Patriots and Drake May, the rookie quarterback Drake May, to go to London and come out with a win over the Jaguars. I expect Ramondre Stevenson to have a big day running the ball and Hunter Henry to have a big day. I think this will be a big day for the Patriots. I think they come out of London with a win. So I'm gonna take the Patriots. It's probably one of the last times I'm gonna pick them anyway this season, but we'll see. I'm taking the Patriots.
yeah. Give me the Patriots as well. The Jags are just an absolute dumpster fire. Boy, the winner of this game is going to hurt their draft position. This is definitely the toilet bowl of the year so far, and I feel bad for the fans in London that get to see this train wreck.
Yeah, and I don't think any fans gonna want to wake up early in the morning to watch this.
No,
All right. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions going to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis to take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings will be coming off their bye week after they beat Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in London. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions kicked the absolute dog crap out of the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas on Jerry Jones's birthday, just mopped the floor with him. But it came at the cost of Aiden Hutchinson, that brutal injury that he took. Praying for a speedy recovery. That was just brutal to see that injury though on TV.
yeah, it was.
Yeah. Vikings still undefeated, still 5-0. And the Detroit Lions, they're just rolling right now too. And even without Aiden Hutchinson, you know something? When are the Vikings gonna drop a game? I just gotta ask, to be honest, when do you think I think this could be the week that the Vikings finally drop
Yeah,
one. Granted, they still got Justin Jefferson, they still got their weapons. Sam Darnold's playing lights out, absolutely good football. They got a defense, but Lions are starting to get it figured out. And you know something? Just for that alone, I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to hand the Minnesota Vikings their first loss of the season. I think they can
Yeah,
go in and do it. I'm going to take the Lions to hand the Vikings their first loss of the season. And
yeah, so am I. This is the Vikings' toughest game so far. And I just like the way the Lions offense has been rolling.
yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans going to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. The Titans losing in that close battle to the Indianapolis Colts. But let's be real, the Titans are so garbage this year. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills just squeaked it out last night on Monday Night Football, beating the New York Jets. And the Bills made some headlines this morning. They just traded for Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, traded for Amari Cooper. So now Amari Cooper enters the receiver mix, but they also released Marquez Valdez-Scantling as well, from what else I heard too. So Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid in the mix. Give me the Buffalo Bills lock of the week.
Yeah, give me the Bills in a lock. I think that ugly win last night, I think, is going to them back on track.
Hmm. All right, up next, we got the Miami Dolphins going to Indianapolis to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Miami Dolphins last week, I think they're coming off of their bye week. Like, they're coming off of the bye week, right?
Yeah.
And they lost on Monday night to the Tennessee Titans before that. And
No, I think they beat New England
that's
before
what,
that.
oh, shoot, that's right. They did beat the Patriots. And meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts coming off of that close win against the Tennessee Titans. Dolphins still without Tua, still looking lost. Indianapolis Colts barely squeaking out. It's going to be Joe Flacco still, but we don't know the word on Anthony Richardson yet. Should Anthony Richardson be back this game?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but regardless of it, I'm going to lean towards the Indianapolis Colts and give them a win here over the Dolphins. I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, give me the Colts as well.
All right, up next, we got our game. Got the Seattle Seahawks going to Atlanta, take on the Falcons. Obviously, we lost on Thursday night to the San Francisco 49ers. I like the resiliency that we showed to try to make that claw and comeback, but obviously the two interceptions from Geno, one of which I put on DK Metcalf for running his route completely wrong, but Geno missing targets, and then freaking Laviska Shenault's fumble. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons are coming off of a big win against the Carolina Panthers, which was our lock of the week, but they kind of struggled to put Carolina away early in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the good news is, from what I'm hearing, Mike McDonald said he should be expecting Byron Murphy the second to be back this game against the Atlanta Falcons, which would be huge. We appeared in the headlines too, making that trade for that pass rusher from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully he can make a difference. I think his name was let's see if I can find the name and get his name in there. I think it's John Roberts. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. And you know what? Fuck, it doesn't matter. Roberts Harrison. That's what I think his last name was. But someone put it in the comments down below. I don't remember the name, but if we want to beat the Atlanta Falcons, we're gonna have to stop the run, get pressure on Kirk Cousins, force some turnovers, and pretty much play a perfect game on offense. We got to play a perfect game if we want to beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
And it's been tough for us so far with all the injuries and just all the crap that's been going on, all the miscommunications. But I'm gonna give the slight edge to Atlanta, but I do think I think we could win this. I think this game is winnable though, but I'm not gonna guarantee it though. But I'm gonna give the slight edge to Atlanta in Atlanta to end our winning streak at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But if we can win this game and stop somewhat of the bleeding before going to that Buffalo game, that would be huge. But I gotta give the slight edge to Atlanta.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to go with Atlanta. But yeah, if we can avoid the mistakes, we have a chance to get the win on the road and end this 3-game losing streak, which would be big before a tough game next week against Buffalo.
At home, too.
But we have to avoid the mistakes. I've done on the penalties. No turnovers.
No miscommunications.
No miscommunications, and we can pull this one off. But I got to slightly favor Atlanta.
Yeah. All right, up next, we got the Houston Texans going to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. The Houston Texans pulled it out against the New England Patriots, but they kind of struggled to put the Patriots away early in that game. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers kicked the absolute living crap out of the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals clearly fumbleitis. The whole team had fumbleitis. The Pottsville curse gave the team fumbleitis. And the
Yeah.
Packers just absolutely destroyed them, took a massive shit on them. Tough test this time around, taking on CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans going in the Lambeau Field. This one's kind of a tough one as well, man.
Yeah.
Whew. But I'm going to go ahead, though. I'm going to take. I really like the way the Packers defense is playing, and the Packers they're playing some lights out football right now with Jordan Love back. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers to hand the Texans another loss on the year. I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, give me the Packers at home to hand the Texans their second loss. Yeah, this is one of the games of the week.
Hmm. All right, up next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals going to Cleveland, take on the Cleveland Browns. Bengals pulled it off 17-7 in MetLife Stadium on Sunday Night Football. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns in a tough battle with the Philadelphia Eagles, but ultimately we knew they were going to fall short. And then they just traded Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills today. Deshaun Watson, man, totally washed, having one of the, obviously, if not the worst season of his career. Boy, has that trade really backfired on the Cleveland Browns, and the Houston Texans have really benefited off of this. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals to hand the Browns on L in Cleveland. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals. They have another pretty easy game to try to uh, dig out of the hole they dug themselves. Cleveland's just an absolute mess right now, and they are definitely clearly gonna have a top five pick if they continue to play like this.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. All right, up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles going to MetLife Stadium to take on the Giants. As we mentioned before, Giants losing by 10 to the Bengals. Philadelphia barely pulling it out against the Cleveland Browns. But what's big is that the Eagles got Devontae Smith back. Him and A.J. Brown were wreaking havoc in that entirety of that game, despite them giving up that blocked field goal for a touchdown. But we knew Philly was going to come out on top. And you know what? I'm taking Philadelphia to go into New York and do it again. Give me the Eagles. Saquon Barkley's return game. You know he's going to want a revenge game. I think Saquon's going to run all over him. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles. It seems like the Eagles have had the Giants number over the last few years, and I think it'll continue.
Well, they did lose to the Giants at near the end of last season, though. I remember that. But
Oh yeah, they lost to them on Christmas, didn't they?
yeah, they did. Ooh, all right, up next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders going to SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Raiders getting manhandled by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Los Angeles Rams coming off of the bye week, but before the bye week got manhandled by the Green Bay. Well, they were close for a little while, but they ultimately fell to the Green Bay Packers 24-20. This is a surprising toilet bowl, I would say.
Yeah, this is like another toilet bowl of the week.
Yeah, who's worse though? It's obviously the Raiders. Give me the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, give me the Rams to pick up their second win of the year. The Raiders are just there's so much dysfunction with that organization, and I just got to slightly favor the Rams after what I saw from the Raiders last week.
Big time. And let's not forget the Raiders did get killed by Carolina Panthers, though. Which, speaking of which,
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing that they gave Carolina their first win.
yeah. All right. And speaking of which, we got the Carolina Panthers going to FedEx Field to take on the Washington Commanders. Commanders, tough battle with Baltimore. Baltimore ultimately pulled away. Understandable. Ravens were tougher, but Jaden Daniels still playing like the offensive rookie of the year in my mind. And I think he's going to continue to keep it rolling. I think they're going to bounce back win here. They're taking on Carolina. This is an easy choice. Give me the Commanders to bounce back from their loss to Baltimore. I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah, give me the Commanders to bounce back and get to 5-2 and maintain their lead in the NFC East. I don't know why this is an afternoon game.
I don't know either. Up next, we got the back-to-back defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs going to Santa Clara, going to Levi Stadium, take on the San Francisco 49ers, which we obviously talked about what happened back on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs are coming off of their bye week, right?
Yeah,
But before that, who did the Chiefs beat before that? The Chargers?
it was New
New
Orleans
Orleans.
on Monday
Oh,
night.
yeah, that's right. It was New Orleans Saints.
And they finally played a solid game.
Yeah. 49ers, though, I mean, let's be real. They're trying to fight it out for this one in the division. But the 49ers, there are only two teams in the NFC West that have ever beaten Patrick Mahomes: the Seahawks in 2018 and the Los Angeles Rams in the same year on that crazy Monday night shootout between Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes back when Goff was on the LA Rams. The 49ers and the Cardinals have never beaten Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is 4-0 against the 49ers, two of which have been in Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And the other two in 2018 and in 2022 when Mahomes absolutely just crapped all over him and the 49ers just waved the white flag. That was back when Jimmy Garoppolo was starting. They put Brock Purdy in the garbage time way before Brock Purdy would eventually seal the starting position. In San Francisco, they still got their guys, but ultimately, I think the 49ers, I think they're going to get knocked back to sub 500. This game will be good, but I got to give the edge to Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes makes it 5-0 all time against the 49ers. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs in a close one. It just seems like Mahomes has the advantage over he has the 49ers figured out for some reason.
Yeah, him and Andy Reid both have him figured out. And then Steve Spagnuolo on that defense.
And the 49ers still have some injuries.
Yeah, no Christian McCaffrey still, so. But they still got Jordan Mason. Oh, well, Jordan Mason got injured in the game, but they still were able to run the ball with ease against us, though. So tells you how much work we still need on our
And
run defense.
they're playing a lot better defense than ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're not playing a banged up defense.
They're not this time around. All right, up next, we got Sunday Night Football. We got the New York Jets going to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers getting that big win in Las Vegas. And meanwhile, the Jets just lost last night on Monday Night Football. But the Jets appearing in the headlines earlier this morning. They just made a trade with the Raiders for to reunite Aaron Rodgers with Davante Adams.
Yeah.
So Davante Adams now in the fold for the Jets. It was a nice little win for the Steelers, but they were playing the Vegas Raiders. It was close for a little while, but they were ultimately going to pull away anyway. Justin Fields had 2 rushing touchdowns, and that defense just got after Aiden O'Connell with ease. But you're taking on Aaron Rodgers, taking on Davante Adams now in the fold with Allen Leapin, Lounge Lazard, and Brees Hall. I'm going to take the New York Jets. Steelers are going to be in for a little letdown. I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly going to take the Jets just because they're playing with desperation right now. They can't afford to lose another one and fall to 2-5. But I expect this to be a low-scoring defensive type game. But yeah, Jets just on pure desperation.
They are. All right, now we got the 2 Monday night games, Monday night doubleheader this week. First off, we got the Baltimore Ravens going to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thoughts and prayers to the people in Florida dealing with the hurricane. Buccaneers dropped that 50 burger on the Saints, and the Ravens had a tight little battle, but ultimately pulled away against the Washington Commanders. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, they really got it rolling. This will be a little bit of a tough task for the Ravens going against that Tampa Bay defense and just see if they can be able to lock up Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin because that offense can roll. Bucky Irvin, the rookie running back, playing good. I don't know if they're getting Rachaad White back yet, though, so we'll see what happens on the Tampa Bay front. But you know what? The Ravens are rolling. I like the way they got it going. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to get a win in Tampa on Monday night. I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens to make it 5-0. I just like the way they've been playing lately.
Yeah. All right, up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals got absolutely pistol whipped by the Green Bay Packers, and the Chargers barely squawked it out in the Mile High against the Denver Broncos. Marvin Harrison Jr., he might be out with a concussion. We'll see what the status of him is, but Arizona clearly fumbleitis. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Chargers, we'll see with them. Got to have better running attack, but they were able to force some turnovers on Bo Nix, but you can't have it be that close and as it was at the end because you almost let Denver come back into it. But with all the question marks going on around Arizona, Marvin Harrison Jr., and just some of the other stuff, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take I know the Cardinals beat the 49ers. This is an interesting game.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah. I'm going to I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers to get back-to-back wins and put the Cardinals in a hole in the NFC West.
Yep. All right. And there you have it. Those are our picks. We got Saints over Broncos, Patriots over Jaguars, Lions over Vikings, Bills over Titans, Colts over Dolphins. Pray to God that we can stop some of the bleeding in Atlanta, but we got to get the sliders to Atlanta. But we're getting positive is Mike McDonald said he's expecting Byron Murphy back, but knock on wood, hope that we can get a bounce back win over the Falcons on the road if we can. Packers over Texans, Bengals over Browns, Eagles over Giants, Rams over Raiders, Commanders over Panthers, Chiefs over Niners, Jets over Steelers, Ravens over Buccaneers, and Chargers over Cardinals. And catch y'all in the next one, and go Hawks.